let us continue playing Dwarf Fortress when we last left off. Yeah! Remember that exploit that I used quite a lot in the past? The one about wooden training axes and the ability to chop down trees and basically save myself a bucket load of build points. Apparently this was patched out about a year ago and I failed to take that into account. So huzzah! However, as luck would have it, somehow, in mysterious circumstances, a silver battle axe has appeared, rather more exceptional than I was hoping to appear, in all honesty, but this means at least we can continue and not have to wait ages for a caravan of humans to trade us something metallic, because of course I have put that as a restriction. This is the axe that is the axe. Can I actually name this? I mean, I can, which is a shame. But anyway, it does mean that somebody is going to go chop down a load of trees for us. I have created a wood stockpile here, and I've created that next to refuse stockpile. I've also put up a big carpenter's and a farmer's workshop. Beyond that, we're going to have to set up some pasture zones. So, I think what we're going to do is have zone 1 down by the river be our duck zone. So, just thinking about how many spaces we want here, because we want to make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so a 9 by 9 block should be fine there. If we make another one here, and another one here. We'll also designate plants in that area, and designate tree removal for that area as well, just to add to the space a little bit. Okay, so now we have pasture zones set up. What we need to do now is just set them as such. So this is a pasture zone, and a pasture zone. So this will contain each of our ducks. By the way, I now have these controls set how I would prefer to have them. So there we go. That might be a bit small for the ducks, but remember we will have some ability to go and rotate them if we need more. Next, we need to set this up, and this will contain our 2 nanny and billy goats. And finally, we will have this one contain our alpaca. And I suppose we should also have the horse and donkey in there. Horse and donkey kind of, unfortunately, surplus requirements at the moment, but we might get more later. Now, the hope is to basically build in the little area between the pasture zones, and there we'll probably end up building a large wooden area around the outside. So we want to declare a water source if possible, and I think a reasonable water source here would be this one. So that's fine, we can set that as such, done. We also have fishing zones, and I think for fishing zones we want to set the brook as our main one. We should be able to get some stuff in the brook. I haven't seen anything easily fishable, but there might be some other stuff around. But we'll hope for that on food later. In the meantime, we are going to unpause the game and see what happens. Hopefully, at some point, somebody's going to claim that axe, and they do. Hurrah! And now things are going to get built. So now that we have a few logs and some basic haulage on the way, we can now debate some things. So we can process some plants, we can make some cheese, we can milk some animals. We do have some kangaroo cheese and kangaroo milk, so we'll try and make some cheese while we've got some initial turns. That'll give us a few food items to start with. And now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So first order of business, we have to build a dormitory, and we're going to need a lot of wood for that. So let's just see what's happening here. The only thing to probably note is where we've got our other bits and pieces going. The Lord High Shadowhawk is just doing his thing. Plants are being gathered. Food is being gathered. But unfortunately, trees are not being chopped down. Units. The woodcutter apparently has no job. You are the competent woodcutter. why are you not chopping down trees? There are plenty of trees for you to chop down, I know there are. Did this not get claimed? Oh, I can fix this. If we make a small weapon stockpile, that should probably do it. Put that beside there. So somebody will claim that weapon, and then hopefully from there... So that's our wooden training axe. I was gonna say, somebody seems to run off with the axe. Apparently you have a lot of random skills which we didn't ask for, which is interesting enough. So it's been a while since I played this game, so... thoughts and processes... Satisfied at work. Somewhere I'm trying to remember how the item thing works. No, that's just there. Had units already. Oh, there we go. That might be it. I'm fairly certain somebody else has picked it up and they don't have the skill. Unless you have it. You... I don't know. We've got some beds being built at the very least, so I suppose the next step beyond this is to start the dormitory area. So, we're not going to bother with a proper flooring at the moment. We can put that in later. But for now, we need to go construction wall and build ourselves somewhere to actually live. And somewhere we can store stuff, hopefully, a little later. We only have 9 wood right now. Oh, that's going to be a pain, isn't it? Yeah, until somebody actually goes and does things like that. Oh, there we go. There's the inventory. So who picked up the sword? Who's got an axe? Yes, we know you're covered in water, but no axe. You don't have an axe. You have the axe. You're our planter. Okay. In which case... our planter needs to have his labours sorted out here, because while he does have... Actually, he doesn't. Yeah, take off combat, take off misc. He doesn't actually have the skills. What the heck? And suddenly I'm having problems remembering controls, which is always a fun thing when you play a game for the first time in a while. Customize. Somewhere I have this. It'll get to me eventually. So Z is status, units. Central field, go to building, manager, remove worker, go to unit, view unit. Can I not change their jobs until I do this? Apparently you're stocking things in there for some reason, which is potentially fine. Oh, he's actually going and doing... Okay, so he's actually decided to take it upon himself to chop down these trees, which is fine. He'll be slower at it, but as long as somebody's doing it, we don't mind too much. Yeah, there we go. Oh, actually, there we go. Preferences. So we'll take wood cutting off of him, and hopefully that will allow the other person to take over. There we go. Now, hopefully, our actual woodcutter can go and actually do his job. You know, woodcutting, that thing you're awesome at. God darn you dwarves! Woodcutting. Okay, shift. Okay, he's now doing all woodworking skills. Will this finally get him chopping trees down? Yes, it appears to have started it, although somebody else seems to have taken over the duty. Well, either way, that's enough wood to get started. So let's go and build ourselves the dormitory. So this is going to be the main central room for the moment. We're going to go there. We're going to put in... I'm not going to make it too big, but I'm going to make it double doored on the inside. We've got some apricot trees. That actually gives us a good chance of getting some reasonable food in. Hazel logs. None of these are going to match types for the moment. This doesn't matter. We're basically just building the basic of the basic dormitories right now. Okay, so that's done. Once you've got those beds built, we need a couple of doors. And we'll then need to build... maybe a couple of bins as well. Bin, step ladder, wheelbarrow. And we'll keep on with that for the moment. We also need to build our upwards stairs. Up, down, stair. There, because we're going to have to build the roof as well. Oh no, I mixed up the zoning. I haven't messed up the zoning yet. That's fine. Also, somebody really needs to deal with those animals. I suppose, technically speaking, I could do something here. I mean, I do lever operations, definitely. I can do floor and wall constructions. I could build some stuff. You know, that'd be something easy. Hunting related, I could do some animal care. Don't want to do any of that. Don't want to do any of that. Definitely don't want to do any of that. That stuff sounds difficult. I'll do strand extraction if we ever find adamantine. That's it. There, that's my job sorted out. It's far more important for me to defend the fortress like this. Definitely more important. And there we go. At least some of the animals are now starting to come into the proper area. Hey, we've created masterpiece beds. That's nice. Wonder how I'm feeling about doing stuff. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to stick my commands on, which is weird. Don't know whether that's... Well, it's fine. For the moment, we don't need to worry about that. This is only the basically first episode. But I will have to look into things. Oh, we're doing well on the bed front. The higher quality beds we get, obviously, the better. So it gives at least a few happy thoughts. And we're going to need some happy thoughts soon. And also, the up-down staircase has been built. So we can build a downward staircase here. Yep, downward stair there. Out of apricot. I want to build a trap door there at some stage, but then that also means I can go and build some flooring and actually put a roof in. You know, once that's actually done. Look at all these trees we still have available here. In fact, we've got some blossoms appearing as well, actually, haven't we? Alder branches. Willow twigs. So hoping for some fruit trees or something, but we'll... we found some apricot ones, I guess. Pecan. I also put the door in the wrong place, didn't I? Ah, well. thus begins the adventures of our wooden fortress. The next thing I want to build after this is sort of the dining hall, but honestly, the bedroom has to be first on the agenda. I'd love somebody else to help build. What say you, Mr... Nope, apparently I'm not... There we go. Let's have another go at this. So, animal care. So, animal care is on. Engineering. Nope, it was... War floor construction and architecture. Yep, escape. So if I try that again, will it immediately get rid of it? Apparently not. Okay. So it's a bit weird about that, but apparently it will save them eventually. At least until I go away. Apparently, the Shadowhawk will not work. Until I find a fix, which I might have to do at some stage. What's that floating around? It's a worm. We do have a cat somewhere who should hopefully be able to deal with some of the mess, but... The good news is some of the ducks are now being placed into positions, so we can now get some nest boxes built. So, how many do we have, and what do they classify as? Actually, are these craft dwarfs? They might be craft dwarf. Nope, carpenter, craft dwarf is R. So level works. There we go. So we have one building there, we have one building there, let's have another building there. We don't mind that the stuff is being worked on outside, at least not initially, but we will want to get that indoors. Eventually. Like I said, if we can get some eggs sorted out, awesome. Wood nest box. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and what else can we have? We can build a couple of hives. I mean, you know we can potentially do that. And why not? We'll have a mug for ale. Death to the trees! That should be enough for the time being. We're in a very heavily forested area, so... we're just going to need to convince some of these people to actually start, you know, doing some work. I mean, I can turn on entire sections, but that's not entirely what I want to do. So now he's now going to do all of them, which should hopefully at least get him helping out with some of this. Maybe. Shadowhawk the Banished cannot be commanded to do work. Ah! Alright. Well, that's a serious problem. That is a serious problem. But we've made some starts. We've got some plans. So I think after this we want to get the hall built pretty much in the same place over on the right. Just we've got an eatery. Get the roofs done on both. Build a trading post, actually. Let's get that done now before I forget about it, because I will forget about it. Trade depot. So, it doesn't particularly matter where we put this, I suppose. So we'll put this in the area over here, near our wood stores. I mean, I doubt we're going to put... we might end up building an actual storehouse there at some stage, but it's not essential for right now. let's have a quick check on the status of things. So we're doing okay on drink. We need to broker with the appraisal skill. Don't I have that? I'm sure I do. I'm the expedition leader, but I shall also now be the broker, because that is the only job that I feel that I deserve. So we have a trader. I've decided to lead these people. These mad, mad people, who I should probably actually name before we end the video. So let's see. Our nest box constructing mad carpenter genius, we shall thus rename. So let's go to the units, view units, customize. So this shall be the new bunkle. Or rather, new bunkle the banished. New bunkle the banished one, and he will come up with his own backstory at some stage, I am sure. As to why he is here, why he likes to make wood and whatever. Beyond that, we have... Actually, that was actually not our carpenter. Oh, he's the mad woodcutter of wood. The only other person I think was Matt, so we'll give him a... give you a customization as well. Medlabel. Yeah, you were banished as well. Everybody was banished. I should come up with more interesting nicknames, but I might do that later. For now, though, all that's important is you're banished, along with a lazy nobleman and 6 other dwarves. And also, I believe that's nearly done. I'd love to end the video with that set up, but I know it's going to take a little while, so... Okay, build C floor. Until that's done, it's not done yet, so we'll wait. There we go, now it's done. Build C floor. And because we know how dwarves like to get trapped, we're expecting many, many things from this. Okay, so build that out of that, and build that out of what's closest. Okay, resume. And then, once that's in, we can actually start having a proper dormitory. Do we have any doors yet? Yes, we do have a couple of doors. Perfect. I mean, it's only a wooden shack. It's nothing fancy, and we don't actually have a floor built for it yet, though we have enough wood to do so. But so far, that's going quite well. Let's go and build a few things that we might want as well. A couple of bins. Chest. Chair, cabinet, table, and then after that we'll start looking towards what else we can actually get that'd be useful to us. In all honesty, some blocks maybe. Maybe a few more beds. We want to be obviously prepared for immigrants. Not that we're going to have a lot of value, but that seems like a reasonable starting point there. Yeah, so overall we spent some time in. We've got some eggs there. Now we have snails. Alright, let's just check where our zones are, and let's go and build some nest boxes. Double check where our zones are, because I suddenly misclicked. There we go. Alright, so starting there. Build nest box there. Build nest box there. And there. And there. I thought we were building some more. Maybe I missed a message, but that should be a start to things at least. Just have to check on our animals. Is skinny. Mind you, all of the grass is quite dense, so they do have grazing ability here. They shouldn't be starving. Ducks might be in a bit of bother, but should be fine. And huzzah! Hopefully now one of those will get cleaned soon. Meanwhile, that floor is slowly getting made, and that means that we can finally put in our bed. We can put 2 beds in. I probably am just going to put a row of beds here. Maybe just go like that. We're in a dormitory, so we can't afford to be too picky with things. We'll just stick a couple of beds in. And thus, the all-important start to the fortress has begun. What's that purple thing? Is it just a flower, or is that just dead parsnip plants? Well, hopefully we'll have some actual pasture land, some actual farms to go up in a little bit. We did do a little bit of setup, and huzzah, we have some eggs. This is what we wanted. So, we have a few fertile duck eggs there. Okay. We're gonna forbid those ones, which may cause chaos a bit later on, but we like chaos. The rest we will, of course, harvest for eating once we actually have a food storage area, which we're going to have to set up. Currently, we don't have one, so we're just going to have to be hopeful and get lucky. Also, finally, that one goes down. Dwarves are getting thirsty. Booze is getting a bit shy. Yeah, the depot can get there. That's important. In fairness, we just chopped down trees until they got sorted out, but you know. We want to be certain of these things, and that's all going reasonably well. So, I'm going to leave my dwarves to it for a little bit, and next time, we will see how they get on, as they continue to make masterpiece chairs, and other such things that the dwarves need. So, until then.